Aluhu. El Shaddai, the Elohim, Otenu. Abiyahu, Mabiyis, Kababiyako. Takwados, Weshameka, Kwados, Baru, Shemeka, Lolam, Mahe. Weshamu, Bene, Israel, El Shabbat, Lasso, El Shabbat, Let Dodo, Tamadi, Ola. Beni, Bene, Israel, Otilola. Kisha, Shek, Amimasa, El Shaddai, Wa Shamayim. Where Ta'adis, Ubayom, Mashvi, Shabbat, Wa Inafash. Baruch Shemeka, Baruch Yeveneka, Baruch Kurabeka, Baruch Kurushateka. El Shaddai Malek, El Shaddai Malak, El Shaddai Lolam Mahe. Baruch Shem Kabor Makuto Lolam Mahe. Baruch Kabor Lohim Min Kumor Malek Elyon. Haluhu Lolam Mahe. First of all, I'd like to give honor and praise to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, the great, mighty, and revered God, the Most High God, who bestows his loving kindness and possesses all things, who remembers the pious deeds of the patriarchs, the Most High, slow of anger, great in kindness, forgiving iniquity and transgressions, but who will by no means clear the guilty, visiting iniquities of fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. The Most High's work is perfect, for all his ways of justice, a God of faithfulness and without iniquity, just and right is he. You may be seated. Giving due respect and honor to a head in Israel, my father, Chief Eleazar, to the chief men, princes, brothers and sisters, I say unto you the tongue of my forefathers, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Another holy day that comes up every 7 days. Every 7 days. And this is a day that I have grown to love. I said, this is a day that I have grown to love. This is a day that I look forward to, because in my early years, I didn't have that same dedication. I didn't have the same dedication that I have now. And I was raised up in these laws, commandments, and statutes. But I didn't have the same dedication that I have now. You know why? Because we wasn't born with the fear of God in us. Don't let nobody fool you and tell you that they was born with the fear. There's nobody today that's born with that fear. There's nobody born today. That fear that we are looking forward to, we have to build. We have to develop that fear for God. Today, we have to develop that fear for God. And you can't develop the fear of God sinning presumptuously. You can't develop the fear of God going in and out with God. You can't develop the fear of God missing holy convocations. You can't develop the fear of God doing things contrary from the laws, commandments, and statutes that God has ordained for us to live by. You can't develop that fear, man. So in order to be so fervent and strong and gung-ho with God, you got to develop the fear. You know why? Because the fear is what keeps you from violating. The fear is what keeps you from going in and out. That fear for God will make you draw that line, and you won't dare cross it. You won't dare cross it. That fear. You need the fear of God to succeed, to elevate in these commandments, in these laws, man. You need the fear of God to be perfect and whole and complete, like Joshua and Caleb. The Most High said, Joshua and Caleb followed me wholly, fully, complete, whole. Which means all sides was covered. They covered every corner. Huh? So if we're truly pursuing godliness, if we're truly pursuing these laws, commandments, and statutes, we got to cover all angles.
Right.
I said we got to cover all angles.
Right.
We got to cover the laws. We got to cover these commandments, and we got to cover our ways.
Right.
We got some stinking ways before God, man. We got some ways about us that God don't like. And because of our ways, God will push you away. Even though you got on the road. Even though you wearing frontlet and bracelet. Even though you watching your diet.
That's right.
But if your ways stink with God, he gonna push you away.
That's right. There you go.
He gonna push you away. I don't want nothing to do with you till you acknowledge your ways, oh despicable one. That's why when you're reading the book, God said, he said, amend your ways, O house of Israel. Change your ways. Change the way you are. Stop being the way you are. There is a certain way, there's a certain mannerism, there's a certain behavior that comes with serving God. There's a certain mentality that comes with serving God. You can't tell me nothing, man. I said, you can't tell me nothing. I know. Because I see the pattern. I read and I see the patterns that our forefathers had set. Listen, man, y'all playing games, man. I said I read and I see the pattern that these godly men have set. And the pattern that these godly men have set, you got to follow that pattern. You can't follow your own pattern. You can't follow your own ways. You can't do and come up with your own pattern and think God going to accept you that way. It was already set up from the beginning. The godly woman in that book already set the pattern, sisters. I said the godly woman, the righteous woman that we read about in this book already set the pattern. Stop trying to develop your own pattern in your own ways. Don't try to modernize these laws. Don't stop adding in and taking away. If you ain't read it there, why put it there? Why? Why we put things that's not there? We never read it there. It's not there. Thanksgiving.
Not at all, man.
Show me in Leviticus 23 where we celebrated Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do we really know the origin of Thanksgiving? Have we studied the origin of Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
No, it ain't just about eating and giving thanks and food and family getting together.
Have a good time.
Thanksgiving is a pagan holiday.
Yeah.
Idolatrous worship. Look up the idol or the deity called Ceres. Ceres, that word, or Cerelia. Cerelia. Do your homework. I'm not going to tell you. Because you're going to say it's coming up. I'm talking up the side of my head. I done did the studies about all these pagan religions.
Yeah.
You know why we didn't have a new year? You know why we didn't have a new year? Because the new year is in sync with Saturnalia.
That's right.
Is in sync. That's why they have
Greek feast.
Xmas coming up during that time,
Yeah,
around
all
that
of
area.
that.
New Year is all in cahoots. That's why we didn't have a new year. So now brother said, man, actually we got 2 New Years. Man, shut up.
Two.
Yeah.
In the book it says the beginning of months.
Yeah.
I ain't never read about no New Year, man.
Yeah, order us.
But we always want to modernize the laws of God.
That's right.
We always want to modernize the laws of God.
That's right.
Kanuka. It means it was a commemoration of the rededication of the altar. That just happened one time.
That's it.
Yeah.
We didn't get gifts on Hanukkah.
That's right.
We didn't do none of that.
Teach. Teach the people.
We didn't do none of that, man.
Just gave out food. That's it.
You miss Christmas, fool.
Teach the people.
That's what you miss.
Deeply embedded.
Teach the people.
And then you tell the kids, well, the kids gonna run away because it ain't make. If the kids run away, they were supposed to run.
That's right.
You made it.
I said if the kids ran away and they despised it because their heart is filthy as a child. I said that child's heart is filthy before God.
All facts.
Stop putting the kid in the barber shop, shaving off his head.
Yeah.
Teach the child that you're not supposed to cut his hair.
That's right.
Teach the child that.
That's right.
Let's go into Genesis.
That's right.
Let's go into Genesis chapter 9. Genesis chapter 9. Right after Genesis chapter 9, we're going to go into Deuteronomy 13. Right after Deuteronomy 13, we're going to go into Lamentations chapter 3, and you're going to learn the characteristics of God.
Let's go.
All right? Let's go. Genesis 9. Time sheet.
And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful.
Uh-oh. And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto him. So what do you mean by bless? To bless means to speak good about. So anytime you speak good about things that God hates, then you blessed it. I said anytime you speak good about things that God hates and despises, you blessed it. Watch what you speak good about. Watch who you speak good about. You can't speak good about a person that hates your God.
Right.
You can't speak good about things that God hates and despises. We're not on the same wavelength with God, man. You got to get off that track. I say you're on the wrong track. Get on God's track. Despise what God despised. Love what God said to love. Then he could take you and say, man, that's my saint. Now you could get close to God. But we want God to accept us the way we is. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work, man. This way of life ain't no joke. And God is not playing with us, man.
Right.
I said the Creator ain't playing. I said the Creator is not playing. Either we're going to follow his laws the way it's written or go. Either we're going to follow the laws of God or die.
Right.
You had a brother from B'nai Zakim named Chief Malik. And Chief Malik, he went to the prince. He went to the prince. He was the head knock of all Hebrews, head knock of all Israelites. This was the man that brought that told all these black Jews that they're Israelites. So he said, Chief Malik went to, he said, hey, Prince, he no need to argue and go back and forth. He said, listen, Prince, he said, let the people choose. He said, you had the book in one hand.
That's right.
You know what he had in the other hand? A 9mm.
Licky.
Huh? You know what that remind me of? Joshua.
That's right.
That's what we need today. We need a Joshua today.
Right.
I said we need a Joshua today. I bet you Israelites, once Israelites start disappearing, they gonna stop. Hey, I done told you to close this spot down. You ain't worthy to be running no camp. I'm gonna tell you one time.
That's right.
Next thing, Negroes, niggas start disappearing. Well, I don't know when Chief Yakana on that. I don't know. He came to teach us, he left by, and we ain't seen him again. Oh, Chief Yakana disappeared. You know what's next? Another 2-3 months, somebody else disappeared. I don't know where Chief so-and-so he got. You know what's next? 2-3 months, another monkey disappeared. Keep playing. That's what needed today. That's what's needed today. Because you Israelite niggas is playing games with God.
That's right.
Y'all playing, man. Y'all playing, man. Make your mind up what God you want to serve, man. I said, make your mind up what God you want to serve. Make your mind up, man. And stop playing, man. Stop telling people things and showing people things that's in this book that's not there. It ain't there, man. Why are you telling people this? Let's read.
And God blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply.
Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
And the fear of you and the dread of you.
So God, the creator, just flooded the earth. It was mayhem. Let me get that though. Mayhem. God had to flood the earth because the wickedness that was going on during this time, it got out of hand. You know what they said after that? He said monkeys wasn't dying. Did you ever realize why they wasn't dying? But people say it wasn't angels. But they wasn't dying.
Because they were angels.
Because, think about that.
They were renegading.
So God had to flood the earth. And Noah was found righteous in his generation. We could be righteous in this generation. I said we could be righteous in this generation because there is nobody that is fulfilling these laws the way it says here in the book. Even Israelites. The only thing Israelites do is wear fringes, and they don't do that right. I said they don't do that right. Because next thing you see him, he got on blue fringes. And in the law it says, Petil Tekelet. Petil Tekelet means a thread, a blue. Means one quarter blue. So why do I see Israelites with blue fringes? No matter how many times Deuteronomy 22 says, Arba, comfort. Arba is four. Comfort is corners. Four corners. Lord have mercy. How many times I got to keep telling you, brother, when you look at his shirt, he ain't got no corners. No corners. You think that law is accepted? I said that law ain't accepted. Why? Because you're not doing it according to the way God has prescribed in the book. And when we do these laws according to our own will, according to how we want to do it, God's not going to accept that. He's not going to accept it the way you want to do it. It's either you do it the way you read it, or go. Go. Go, man. Go. Tom C.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
My goodness. Read that again, please. I said read that again.
Verse 4. But flesh with
the life thereof,
which is the
blood,
shall you not eat.
Why you tell this man here? Why you told him that it's impossible to get the blood, all the blood, out the meat? You think God is going to tell you to do something that's impossible?
No.
Okay.
God is not going to tell you to do something that's impossible. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If I'm soaking this meat, and soaking, and blood is still in it, and it ain't coming out, I ain't eating it.
That's right. That's right.
Because there are certain laws that when you break them, it brings about a cut-off state of mind.
That's right.
God cut you off.
There you go.
And then you start seeing things completely opposite from what you read. Because you're doing things contrary from what God had to stand. You're doing it contrary. You're wrong.
Yeah.
Riotous, eaters of flesh.
Yeah.
But we want to talk bad about Saul. But Saul stopped the people from eating the blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saul was only cut off from conversation.
Yeah.
And Saul only messed up twice. When he didn't kill Amalek, the matter of Amalek, and when he went and sought out the witch Endor. 2 times Saul messed up. But you got some nerve to talk against that man. You can't say nothing against Saul.
That's right.
You can't say nothing against Saul. I wish I was Saul. Hey, Saul, let me be you and you be me. Let's switch spots. Yeah, let's switch spots. Come on, man. It's all good. Saul messed up 2 times. Twice in his whole entire life.
Yeah.
We can't even count our sins. I said, we can't even count our iniquities and how many times we done violated God. To do these laws, there's a certain way we are supposed to treat each other. I said, well, if we have fully committed ourselves to do these laws, commandments, and statutes, you know, a treatment comes with that. A treatment comes with that, man. Behavior comes with that. Tom, let's read it.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shedded. For in the image of God made he man.
For in the image of God made he man.
There's a lot of stuff right there.
Boss talk.
Boss talk. I said boss talk. The man said. But again, people teach other people and tell them it ain't talking about an image. So what is talking about there? I said, so what is talking about? I forgot the word that they use. God got an image. Why else? How else was Moses able to see his back parts? Well, it ain't talking about his back part. It's talking about the past, present, and future. Well, take the past, present, and future and stop it up. Stuff it where the sun don't shine. Okay? It don't say that.
They don't say that in the book.
This is your own terminology and your own fickle mind that's going up in your own mind because you're eating too much blood.
That's right.
You're the same person that want to travel on Shabbat. Brother, man, I'm going to take a plane. Brother, going to JFK, Terminal 1, to go on the plane on Shabbat. Y'all playing with your lives, man.
Danger zone.
Y'all playing with your lives.
Danger zone.
We take all this lightly. Time to step up, man. I said it's time to step up and elevate in these laws, commandments, and statutes because drama is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's read it.
And you, be ye fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. Verse 8. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth.
Look at that, man.
God's promise.
This is a God of mercy. This is a God of compassion. This is a God of pity.
Say multiplies mercy.
You think he didn't delight in doing that? This is his creation.
Right.
But and he had to destroy the world. He had to destroy all living because wickedness was increasing. And he flooded the whole earth. And only Noah and his family survived that.
That's right.
There was the only one that was preserved. But God still had a heart. Have a heart. Where is your heart?
Yeah.
We don't have a heart of flesh, man.
Yeah.
We have a cold heart. We have a stony heart. You know why? You can tell whether your heart is made of stone or flesh. All I got to do is watch your ways. Watch how you talk to this person. Watch what you say to this person. Watch to see if you regard this person. You got a heart of stone, man. You didn't think of you saying what you said and doing what you're doing is going to affect him or her. Nah. You didn't even think and say, well, man, I shouldn't say that, man. You know, I ain't going to say that, man. Man, I don't want to go. I don't want to hurt his feelings or her feelings. You just voiced it and just say whatever you got. A heart of stone, man. I said, we have a heart of stone. We do not consider each other, man. We don't consider each other. Even in joking around and playing, you still got to consider. Oh, I was just playing. Yeah, you were just playing, but you heard them. Sometimes we go too far. There's a limit that we should not be crossing with each other.
Gone too far.
There's a limit that we don't cross with that one. But you know what? This one, and that one may respect the limit. But then you have others that don't respect the limit. I'm not going to cross the limit.
Yeah.
You want to continue? Look, man, we need work. We need a lot of work on ourselves, man. Why you think we going back? We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Because us, the so-called Israelites, have not acknowledged our faults. We have not acknowledged the way that God wants us to be. We have not acknowledged the way that we shouldn't be. We want to continue on the way we is and want God to accept us. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Let's read it.
And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generation. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be.
He said, I do set my what? My bow in the cloud. Right? That's the rainbow. Go ahead.
And it shall be for a token of a covenant.
And there shall be a token for a covenant.
Between me and the earth.
Between the Most High and the earth. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
He said, man, when you see that bow, that rainbow, he said, I'm always remember my covenant, that I ain't going to never destroy the earth by a flood again. I'm not going to ever destroy the earth by a flood again. Go ahead, read.
And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. Verse 18. And the sons of Noah that went forth
for the ark
were Shem,
Ham,
Japheth.
And the earth was populated behind those three men.
That's right.
3 men.
That's right.
Okay? Ham had a lot of nations that came out of Ham. A lot of Hamitic nations that came out of Ham. Okay? And these was people that God said, don't follow these people.
Right.
These people got some dirty ways.
That's right.
Okay? They migrated into Africa. Japheth migrated into Europe. Shem went into Asia. Middle East. Iraq. The Jordan is in the middle, is in Asia. All that is in Asia. Go ahead, read.
And Ham is the father of Canaan.
Ham is the father of Canaan.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman.
Noah began to be a husbandman. You know what a husbandman? He planted a vineyard. He planted a vineyard. Go ahead.
And he planted a vineyard.
Okay.
And he drank of the wine.
He drank of the wine.
He was drunken.
He got drunk.
And he was uncovered.
He was uncovered
within
his tent.
And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his 2 brethren without.
Okay, wait a minute. You know what Israelites said? That Ham didn't really see his father's nakedness. He saw his wife's nakedness.
He didn't say that.
The book ain't say that. He said he saw his father's nakedness. Okay, so now we're going to backtrack into the law. If I'm married and you see my wife's nakedness, that's my nakedness.
Right.
Of course. Belongs to me. But you know why? I'm going to tell you that wasn't this instant. Number one, it wasn't mentioned that the wife was in the same tent with him. Number one. Number two, they didn't share the same tent.
Thank you, brother.
You know what Keli Gebed means?
Right.
I said, you know what Keli Gebed is?
Right.
Keli is a utensil, a tool, a thing, an instrument, a weapon, an artifact, a vessel, a container. It even goes into a garment.
That's right.
Okay? This is why brothers say, oh, well, there's no law against women wearing pants. Because the Keli wasn't directed towards clothes. You's a fool.
Right.
And you don't have no wisdom. First of all, do you know when or what year or when pants started being worn by women?
Late 1900s.
Late 1900s. Women didn't wear pants. You in the Little House on the Prairie. Even the woman in Little House on the Prairie, them white women, they wore them blew up. They didn't wear pants.
Yes.
Now you got Israelite women wearing pants, shorts, leggings. So this is why Leah went to Jacob. Prime example. Leah went to Jacob and said, I have hired thee with my mandrakes, Jacob. Therefore, thou shalt come unto me. Which means when Jacob went to have cohabitate with his wives, he went into their tents.
Right.
They never went into his tent.
That's right.
Because they didn't sleep on the same bed. That was a man's bed.
That's
And
right.
it's sin, it's iniquity for that woman to go laying on that man's bed. It's sin for that woman to go using his chair. It's sin for that woman to be using his spoons, his forks, his cups. How many Israelites how many Israelites you can tell me that had these things separated in their houses?
None.
Are you really doing the laws and fulfilling the laws of God?
Yeah.
No. No.
That's right. Talk about
Your
it.
spoons should be separated. Your pots should be separated. Everything should be separated. If we are truly about these laws, commandments, and statutes, why are we not fulfilling them?
Yeah.
You read the laws of God so that you can fulfill it.
That's right.
This is what I need to do. Okay, no problem. Let me start doing it.
That's right.
Let's read.
And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward.
Okay.
And they saw not their father's nakedness.
Okay.
And Noah woke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto
What
him.
his youngest son had done unto him.
And he said, Cursed be Canaan.
Cursed be Canaan.
A servant shall
A servant shall
unto his
he
brethren.
unto his brethren.
And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem,
Uh-huh.
and Canaan shall be his servant.
Uh-huh. Let's cut that. Go to Deuteronomy 13.
Oh,
Let's go to Deuteronomy 13. Let's go into a little more law.
yeah.
You got it, Chief?
Right.
Tell me, Chief.
If there arise among you a prophet or
Uh-huh.
a dreamer of dreams,
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams. Go ahead.
And give it thee a sign.
Give you a sign.
Or a wonder.
Or a wonder.
And the sign of the wonder come to pass.
Okay, so don't tell me no dreams. Don't tell me none of that if it ain't coming to pass. If it ain't come to pass, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You better hope the dream came from God. Oh, well, something came to my mind, and I know God was. How you know God put those thoughts there? Did he come to you and tell you he put those thoughts there? You're assuming that God put those thoughts.
Don't say the Lord.
God ain't say, oh, well, Chief Miguel, thus saith the Lord. That's how they knew God put those thoughts there. So now when these thoughts come to our head, we cannot move on those thoughts right away. We can't move on these ideas right away. We got to take our time. We got to gauge it. Gauge it with the laws, commandments, and statutes of God. Then you will know whether these are good thoughts or bad thoughts. Whether these are righteous thoughts or ungodly thoughts. Righteous ideas or ungodly ideas. You better gauge it with the book to make sure that this was a godly idea or ungodly idea. When things start telling, go ahead, Tom.
And the sign of the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known. They don't say that directly. I said, they don't say that directly. They try to pull you away from God by telling you to do things that's going to allow you to violate the laws of God. Be careful. Hey, Chief Mikael, let's go do this and this and this. And by Chief Mikael going to do this, this, and this, and this, he's gonna violate the Sabbath. He's gonna violate some laws. See, you don't have to say, let's go serve other gods. You ain't gotta say that. Just lead me astray. Just tell me or voice something to me or tell me to do something, and by me doing it, I'm gonna violate those laws. You leading me you gonna have me serving other gods. Now it's time to run. I gotta run. That's why when these thoughts and when these ideas, when you start voicing and talking and saying things, you must gauge it with the laws, commandments, and statutes of God so that you can make sure that I'm not violent. I'm not in violation. Tom Sheep.
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
So now he said what? Ye shall dream of dream, sign of wonder, and the sign of the wonder come to pass. Well, he spake unto him, saying, let us go after other gods. The word go is jalak. To go means to walk after. What does walk after means? It means to be guided by their counsels and influence. To walk after means your own counsels and your own influences have guided you towards the pit, towards destruction. Huh? You know what your own influences? Those are the feelings and the ideas that comes into your mind, and you follow it. You follow it. Go ahead, read.
Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known.
Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known.
And let us serve them.
And let us serve them.
Verse 3. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God prove it.
For the Lord your God, prove it you. The word for prove is nasa. You know what nasa means? Nun samek hey. It means to test. It means to try. It means to prove. Huh? He said, for the Lord thy God, prove it who?
Prove it you.
Prove it you. That what? He's
know.
testing you. He's trying you to know what is in your heart. So God put certain things before your face. You know? The thing that God knows that you love. He said, man, I know this guy loved this. Let me use the same thing that you love and see if you're going to turn on God for that thing that you love. Let me use your kids and see if you're going to turn on God for your kids. Turn on God for your kids. Huh? God used what you love, what you desire, because he knows each and every one of us.
That's right.
And he knows our weak points. And he used your weaknesses to strengthen you. I said, God used the very same thing that you're weak at to strengthen you. To strengthen you. Let me see if you're able to choose God and his laws and his commandments for that very same thing that you love. Why do you think God tested Abraham and used his son? You don't think God know that he loved his son? That's what he said, hey. He said, I want you to get your son, your only son, whom thou lovest, and offer him up to me. Let me see if you really digging me, man. I said, let me see if you really digging me, Abraham. I said, offer him up to me right now.
MOSTHIGH really tested his heart.
He really tested Abraham. And Abraham had no doubts. He was going to kill his son.
You said no doubt?
He had no doubts. None. God had to send the angel. He said, Abraham, hold up, man. Hold up, man. You about to slaughter Isaac. He said, now I know that you fear God.
He had zero.
I said, now I know that you fear God.
He had zero feelings in there.
Facts.
Zero.
To establish the truth or validity of by evidence or demonstration. You know what the demonstration is? When you use Isaac. Strict demonstration. Validity means conforming to accepted principles. To test. So there are 3 ways of testing. Before God tests you, you go through an observation phase. I say you go through an observation phase. Right? And when when you're going through this observation phase, it means to conform to one's actions. He's checking out your ways, your actions, your reactions. Then you go into an evaluating phase. And when God evaluates you, it means to determine the value or worth of a person. And then after that, you go through a trial. Means a test of faith, a test of your patience or stamina by suffering or temptation. So God put you through sufferings. God put you through the sufferings to test your stamina and your will and your determination with God. He put you through it to see if you're going to hold out and not break. Most of us break. I said most of us break. That's why you got people that say they will work on Shabbat. I don't think God would want me homeless. You're broke.
Yeah.
I said you're broke. Huh? To try means to examine, to subject a person to undue strain, excessive hardship, or provocation that tests your endurance with God. I've seen brothers homeless and serve God.
That's right.
But God put that person through that to test his endurance, to test his stamina, to test his willpower with God. And sometimes the Creator put us through certain things to humble us.
Right.
I said, God put us through certain situations to humble us.
Right.
But guess what? That's why I said, man, listen, man. The people in this book is completely better than us today. Listen, God put certain men through certain things and they humble and meek up quick. Not today. They get more harder.
Yeah.
Why are you like this?
Yeah.
God is putting through troubles, putting you through all this, and you get more stubborn. You're more stubborn than before.
Yeah. King David said it. The Spirit of God chastened.
You know what undue strain is? Excessive or unwarranted, done in that matter that is unjust.
That's not right. What's
Means-
happening to you?
Excessive or unwarranted, done in that matter that is unjust. You didn't do nothing to deserve it. You know who that was? Job.
Yep.
Job didn't violate God, but God still put him through it. I said, God put him through it.
That's right.
Hmm?
That's right. Talk about it.
Tom sheet.
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. And you shall serve him.
He said, prove you
to know
whether
you love the Lord your God,
love the Lord your God
with all your
with
heart,
all your heart
and with all your soul.
and with all your soul. Love. Love is affection based on admiration, benevolence, and common interest. Huh? Okay. Love is affection based on admiration, benevolence, and common interest.
That's right.
Okay. Now, admiration is feelings of delighted or astonished. Approbation. Approbation is an act of approving formally. I said an act of approving formally. So there come a certain time in life where I need to start hearing some type of declaration.
That's right.
I need to hear something, man. You've been doing this way of life too long, 2 years,
Right.
1 year. You know why we ain't hearing no declarations from people? Because they don't believe.
Right.
They still living on the edge.
Right.
Half egg in, half in this way, half and half. We in and out with God. So that's why you don't hear too many people making declarations. Benevolence is tendency or disposition to do good. Tom sheet, verse 4, right? Let's read.
You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him
And fear him.
and keep his commandments.
Okay, to fear means to be afraid of. It means to be afraid. And if you are not afraid, then you won't make the necessary decisions according to the standards of God.
Right.
So your decisions supposed to be according to the standards of God. That's how you make your decisions. According to what God says. But in order to fear God, before we fear God, I'm going to be afraid about what you think about me. How this one think. What this one think. How this one views me. How this one view me. It's not worried about what people think. It's worried about how God feels.
Right.
Worry about how God feels. Don't you know when we violate these laws, God feels away?
That's right.
I said, don't you know when we go against his laws, God feels away?
That's right.
Are you worried? Do you care about how God feels? We need to start caring more about how God feels and start worried about what people think.
That's right.
What that one think. What your mother think. What your father think. I'm serving God, Ma.
That's right.
I'm doing these laws. Look, Ma. Look, the same Bible that you read every Sunday, Ma. Look at here. Next thing, she don't want to see it. Or he don't want to see it. Because I don't want to see that. Let's read.
And keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall
Keep
serve
his commandments, obey his voice,
him, and you shall serve him and cleave unto him.
cleave unto him, join him, Tamshi.
Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
That prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death. Divinations and soothsayings. This is in Ecclesiasticus. All right? This is for all you dreamers. Ecclesiasticus chapter 34. Divinations, soothsayings, and dreams are vain, and the heart fancy it as a woman's heart in travail. If they be not sent from God in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon it. Don't believe it. Now, the only way to know if this dream came from God, you have to watch it. You had a dream, just hold on and watch and see if it plays out. But ain't none of us linked like that. Ain't none of us connected like that, man. You think we're going to get some type of direct message from God and we are some presumptuous type of people? We're presumptuous, man. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. Tom Sheep.
And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way.
Where we at?
Bottom of verse 7.
Tom Sheep.
To thrust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
Tom Sheep.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son,
where we at?
Verse 6.
Okay, go ahead.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son,
and thy son,
or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people, which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him.
He said, don't consent, don't agree.
Nor hearken.
I said, don't agree. Watch what you agree with. Because the things we agree with, God don't agree with. I said, whatever you are agreeing with, God don't agree with it. We must train ourselves to agree with the things that God agrees with. We must train ourselves to agree with the things that God agrees with.
Right.
And if your soul despises it, train yourself to love it because God loves it.
Right.
We have this hedonistic mentality, and that's what's getting in the way of us serving God.
That's right.
Our way, the way we think, is what's getting in the way of us serving God 100%. Because the way we think is a Canaanite way of thinking.
Yeah. It's a
Christian way of thinking. American way of thinking. The Christians say grace before they eat. You want to say grace before you eat. But in Deuteronomy, it says that we eat. And when we are full, then we should bless God. That's the pattern that God set. You don't pray first and then bless God, because now you're a Christian. It's that easy to follow into the ways of a Christian. Just start doing the things that Christians do. That's it. It's that easy. The Christians bless and say grace before they eat. You go and say grace and prayers before you eat. You're a Christian because Christians do that. And God ain't said to do that. God said to eat first. And when you are full, then you bless God.
That's right.
So I don't say prayers before I eat.
That's right.
I eat first. And when I take that belt, I said, blessed be the name of the Lord.
That's right.
Who has allowed me to finish this plate. Go ahead.
Talk about it.
Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shalt thine eye pity him. Neither shalt thou spare. Neither shalt thou conceal him. But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him. And put him to death. And afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God. which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
What verse you at?
11.
Time sheet.
And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness.
And all Israel
as
shall hear and
this.
fear, and shall do no more such
wickedness
wickedness
as this is among you.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt hear say in one of thy cities, which the Lord thy God had given thee to dwell there, saying,
Time sheet.
certain men,
Certain
children of Belial,
men.
are going out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which we have not known.
Means worthless. Means worthless. Go ahead. Without worth. Go ahead, Tom She, read.
Then shalt thou inquire and make search and act diligently, and behold, if it be true and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, every whit, for the Lord thy God. And it shall be a heap forever, it shall not be built again. There shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand.
And there shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand. That's deep. I said, that's deep.
It's cursed.
We are not, look, today, we got to be careful of what we take and what we touch. People want to talk bad about Eve, and Eve said, oh, Eve was lying about what God said. You shouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
But she said, God said.
Yeah.
And Eve was innocent. She didn't know no evil. She wasn't evil. She don't know what lying was. So when a woman said, God said, don't eat from it, neither shall you touch it.
Yeah.
You got to watch what you touch.
Yeah.
You got to watch what you accept and take from people, because the person that you're taking this from is cursed from God. He's cursed. And you go take it from him. Taking it. Everything that you done took, you done brought a curse in your house. Watch the things that you take. We shouldn't be taking nothing from ungodly men, ungodly people. Gotta watch what you take from, man. Watch what you take and what you touch out here. Go ahead.
And there shall cleave naught of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he has sworn unto thy fathers. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep all his commandments which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God.
Okay, let's go to Lamentations. Lamentations chapter 3. Lamentations chapter 3. You got it, brother?
Got it. Lamentations
Hold on,
chapter 3.
let me get mine. Okay, got it? I'm ready. Lamentations chapter 3, Lamentations chapter 3, verse 21.
This I recall to my mind.
Wait a minute. He said, this have I recalled to my mind. The word for recall is shub. It means to return. He said, which means I remembered something. He said, something I just remembered to my mind. Where? Therefore have I hope.
It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed.
Woo! Wait a minute. He said, this came to my mind. He said, it is of God's mercy why we are not consumed. It's because of the mercy of God why we ain't consumed, man.
That's right.
Why God didn't just put us all together and just wipe us all out.
That's right.
You know what mercy is? You know what compassion is? You know what pity is? These are things that we don't have.
That's right.
We are not a compassionate, merciful, and pity and people. We don't have these.
That's right.
You know why? Because we choose who we want to have compassion on.
Right.
I'll have compassion and pity and mercy on you.
Yeah.
But then this guy here, me and him ain't rocking. I won't show no mercy. I won't be compassionate. I won't be pity. I won't show him no pity. Why? Because he's not from this camp.
Right.
We are very choosy with who we want to show mercy to. Lamentation chapter 3, verse 21. We can't be choosy with mercy and compassion and pity. These are the characteristics of God. These are the characteristics of God. You want to be godly? Be more compassionate. You want to be godly? Have some more mercy. You want to be godly? Have some pity. Sometimes we need to put ourselves in this man's shoes. Then we won't answer and say the things that we say out of our mouth. I need to put myself in this man's shoes so that I will be more circumspect with my response. I will be more considerate with the things that I do. You know why? Because I don't put myself in that man's shoes. And now I done say, well, wow. Now I see how he feels. The godly does that. I said, godly men do things like that. When you say that to me, I was really offended by that. You hurt me, man, when you did that. And I felt away. Do we not consider these things, man?
No, we don't.
Compassion, pity, mercy. What is compassion? Compassion is sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering of others. Mercy is forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. Wait a minute. Forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm.
It's worthy.
They eating blood.
What? Yeah.
I said they eating blood.
Yeah.
I said they eating blood. You know what the godly do? I feel sorry for you that you're eating blood.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're eating blood. I'm not going to throw it in your face. I'm going to feel sorry for you that you're doing these things.
Yeah.
So this is not something that we play on. You see the level in righteousness? I'm supposed to feel sorry for you when you're going out doing in violating the laws of God. The people at the grounds of Mount Sinai a golden calf. Moses went up to God. He said, you guys have done a great sin. He said, let me go up to this mountain and I hope to God he forgive you. I hope to God that he pardon you for this transgression. He said, when Moses went up there, did Moses start talking to God? You know what God told him?
No.
He said, hey, tell the people to get rid of their ornaments. Get rid of everything that I done decked you in. Because I can't destroy you with these things on. Huh? He said, I can't destroy you with these things on. So you see the significance and the power in wearing your frontlet and bracelet and putting on the things that God told you to wear. These are the things that God loves. And when we wear these things, look, man, look. Okay, I'm going to tell you like this. Imagine when you get a wife, man. You got your wife and you go to your wife and say, hey, baby, listen, man, I love when you do your hair like this, babe. Huh? Because she adorn herself the way you like her to look. And when you look that way and you dress like that, it turns me on. It pleases me. So how you think it please God? when you're stepping out in your robes and garments and frontlet and bracelet, and you're doing the things that you know that God said for you to live, how God wants you to live. Look, he's gonna be at peace with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you said, man, tell them to take off those ornaments. Take everything off.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Let's see what I'm gonna do.
And let me decide what I'm gonna do with these people.
Yeah.
Tom sheet.
Verse 22. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not.
Because his compassion fails not. Which means your mercy and your pity and your compassion should not run out. There is going to come a point in time where, because Moses was merciful. And even he broke. But look what God said. What brought God towards Moses? What was the characteristics that caused God to turn towards Moses? He said, this is the meekest man that I ever met. I ain't never met a man as meek as this guy here. And even though the people gathered stones, they killed swords, they did whatever they had to do. Moses prostrated himself and went to the ground and turned towards God. He didn't get violent with them. They got violent with him.
That's
right.
And he turned to God. King David was going to Nabal, and God stopped him. Because he was going there to commit mayhem.
Yeah, he's going to slay every man.
But in the law, God said that we shouldn't take vengeance against each other. I said we shouldn't take vengeance against each other. No matter how this man is, he knows God. No matter what he's doing, he knows God. And that's what draws the line between me and you. Because we serve the same God. Forget about the blood and the fat and the bald head. He serves the same God, so I still can't deal with you in that form or matter. When we gonna learn? I said, when we gonna learn? I said, when we gonna learn? Well, we can't learn because we want to remain the same way. We cannot remain the same way and think God is going to take us in that way. The way that God wants us to be is already here in the book. It's already here in the book, for crying out loud, man. And this is why we got the book here. Read the book. Learn the ways of our forefathers. Learn the ways of our righteous mothers. And you daughters of Zion, when you read the ways and the customs of Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah, and Rachel, and all these righteous, pious women, then you start following after their ways. Because these are the women that God chose and God accepted. Oh, you God-forsaken men. When you read this book and you read about these righteous and pious men, follow after their ways, because these are the men that God chose. And who know better than Sarah? I said, who know better than Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I said, who know better than Miriam? I ain't never read what that woman got married. I ain't never read where that woman got married. She had a duty. Yeah. Miriam picked up the timbrel. All the sisters picked up the timbrels right after her. God made an example out of her too. Because she was up there. I said she was up there. Miriam was up there. She went and started talking against a godly man. He said, man, you and Aaron should have been afraid to talk about my servant Moses, who I spoke to face to face. The rest of you prophets, I came to y'all in dreams and riddles and visions. He said, but my servant Moses,
He said, "Dark speech."
I don't deal with him like that. He said, the appearance of God he beheld. And you wasn't afraid to talk against my servant Moses. And when the presence of God departed, Miriam turned leprous. Aaron said, alas, alas. He said, we have committed a great sin. He said, alas. Moses said, oh Lord God, heal her now. Yo, you see the juice Moses had with God? He's told God to heal her now. Not later, not next. Listen, man, God looked at him. He said, yeah, all right. He said, you listen, man. He said, if her father had but spit on her face, she shall be unclean 7 days. So she got to hold that for 7 days. I said, you got to hold that. The camp didn't move. Stay there for the whole 7 days till Miriam get healed again. Let's get right with God, man. Let's get right with God, man. Let's get right with God. Because we got a short time. We have a short time to get there. Let's read it.
They are new every morning.
They're new every morning.
Great is thy faithfulness.
Uh-huh.
The Lord is my portion, saith my soul.
Where we at?
24.
Tom, see?
The Lord is my portion, saith my
The
soul.
Lord is my portion. God is my portion. Uh-huh.
Saith my soul.
Uh-huh.
Therefore will I hope in him.
Uh-huh.
The Lord is good unto them that wait for him.
The Lord is good unto him that wait for him. Uh-huh.
To the soul that seek him.
To the soul that seek him.
It is
How
good.
do you seek God? You got to read. The only way to seek God is to read this book. That's it. You can't seek God no other way. Because the only place you're going to find God is inside this book. Go ahead.
It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord.
Salvation of the Lord.
It is good for a man.
It is
that
good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. Go to work, young man.
Work hard.
I said, go to work, young man. And stop worrying about getting a wife if you ain't working. Because your wife going to depend on a real wife. She ain't got to work. Her job is to depend on you. Oh, slugger. Her job is to depend on you. And you got to go.
You got to provide.
Look, don't you know that's why you see most men die before the wives? I said most men die before the wives. Because the man put himself through rigorous, wear the body out,
Day in, day out.
Day in, day out. You, the wife is home, relaxing, preserving herself, doing the house chores, making sure the house is clean, cooking the food, tending to the kids. She can lay down and kick her feet back and watch TV and relax. The man is out sweating, killing himself in hazardous conditions.
Yes, dangerous.
If you don't think that's a hazardous condition, doing construction work in 100-degree weather, then you go out there and go on out there. If you don't think that's a hazardous condition, going out there in 20-degree weather, then you go on out there. But nobody ever thinks or consider what this working man done put himself through or what he's going through.
Go through a lot to provide.
Go through a lot to provide. And when he's not able to provide, he's stressed out. And you start making desperate moves. Because I got children to take care of. I have a house to pay. I got a house to take care of. I got a wife here to take care of. And the last thing he needs is to come home to stress and aggravation. It's the last thing he needs. I'm going through stress and aggravation every time I leave here at 4 in the morning.
But you go out.
I don't want to come back here and go through stress and aggravations.
Tired and hungry.
Tired, hungry, Sometimes you're so damn tired, I don't even feel like showering. I just want to go right to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the God honest truth. You think I feel like going in the shower every time I'm coming home? I just want to go lay down and just conk out.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want to get up to bed.
Time sheet.
He sitteth alone and keepeth silence.
He sitteth alone and keeps silent.
Because he hath borne it upon him.
Because he had borne it upon him.
He put his mouth in the dust, if so be there.
But guess what? God has built man and woman differently. And you know what men delight in? That is his delight. He delight in that thing. He delight in that. I know I do.
That's right. Yeah.
Ain't nothing make me more happier than when I am able to provide
That's a fact.
for my house,
Yeah.
my children,
There you go.
my wife. That makes me happy. Now I'm satisfied. Now that gives me a breath of fresh air. My rent is paid, mortgage is paid, food in the house, the wife is good, children good. I can kick back and breathe
That's right.
until next month.
Just enough.
I said until next month. And now I gotta bust my brain about next month's bills. Come on, man. But God built us that way.
That's right.
Woman wasn't built that way.
Different
Woman was
job,
built to
different
be in the
job,
house,
different job.
take care of the house, clean the house, take care of the kids, cook the food. That's why you hear that saying, house ain't complete without a wife. I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said that house ain't complete without a wife.
That's right.
I tell you that right now. And nothing more better than coming home to a wife in the house.
That's right.
Even if we ain't got no kids, I got somebody in the house. I don't like staying in the house by myself. Friday, I'm getting everything. I'm coming right by mama's house. Oh, you a mama's boy. I don't care. Call me what you want to call me. I'm going by mama's house. I'm staying right here by my mama's house. Where you at, mama? At mama's house. She make good food. She cook good. I got some nice plate food here I can eat. And I ain't got to worry about nothing. Let's read.
Verse 28. He
Uh-huh.
sitteth alone and keepeth silence,
Uh-huh.
because he hath borne it upon him.
Uh-huh.
He put his mouth in the dust.
Uh-huh.
If so be there may be hope.
Uh-huh.
He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him. He is filled full of reproach. For the Lord will not cast off forever.
Uh-huh.
But though he
Said
caused
God
grief-
ain't gonna cast you off forever. I said God ain't gonna cast us off forever, man. It's gonna come a point in time where God is gonna take us back. It ain't that time yet. Let's read.
For the Lord will not cast off forever.
Uh-huh.
But though he cause grief, yet will he have compassion according to the multitude of his mercies.
But though he caused grief, he said, I will still have compassion. Huh? We're not like that, man.
We'll totally wipe out.
We will wipe you out, and we don't even consider the position or the mind frame. We won't even consider what you're going through.
Yeah.
And we'll add on to your grief. We don't consider the grief that a person is going through and ease up. We add on. Go ahead, read. What's godly about that?
For he doth not afflict willingly, nor grieve the children of men.
Uh-huh.
To crush under his feet all the prisoners of the earth.
Uh-huh.
To turn aside the right of a man before the face of the Most High.
Uh-huh.
To subvert a man in his
To
cause.
subvert a man in his cause.
The Lord approveth not.
The Lord approve it not. To subvert means to pervert, to corrupt, to cause to turn from what is considered right. Okay, go ahead. He said God don't approve with that. God don't agree with that. Huh? He don't approve with that. Tom Sheet.
Who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass?
Who is he that say it and it come to pass?
When the Lord commanded it
When the
not.
Lord, when God didn't command it.
Uh-oh.
Who? Go ahead.
Out of the mouth of the Most High proceeded not evil and good.
He said, out of the mouth of the Most High proceeded not evil and good.
That's where it comes.
That's a question.
That's right.
Evil and good come out of the mouth of God.
That's right.
But God has put this evil upon you according to the work of your own hand, because you call this to yourself. You deserve it. So when God calls it upon you, accept it and do some self-evaluation. So you can see and hope that God show you from whence cometh this evil. Where is this coming from? What did I do in my life that brought this evil upon me? We don't ask ourselves this. We say, this happened because of this. That happened because of that. No, this happened because of what I did. Because of what I did that God did not like. So when we violate the laws of God, evil comes towards us. Go ahead.
Verse 39.
Verse 39.
Wherefore doth a living man complain?
He said, why? Wherefore? Why do a living man complain? You're alive. Why are you complaining? Whatever you're going through, you can change it.
That's right.
I said, whatever we are going through in life, we can change it. I don't have to continue being this way, acting this way, moving the other way. I can change whatever needs to be changed concerning yourself. So stop complaining. You're alive. And God still got you living so that you can make changes to get better. Thompson.
Wherefore do a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins?
He said, why are you complaining for the punishment of your sins? God punished us for our iniquities, hoping that we acknowledge. Hoping that we have some type of accountability and recognize that we have violated the law. God punished us for our sins so that we can become better. Go ahead. Read.
Let us search and try our ways.
Let us search and try our ways and turn again to God. So when you have decided to turn to God, I'm getting right with God. Just make sure you search your ways. Because part of getting right with God is to check your ways. I said part of getting right with God is checking your ways. Tom Sheep.
And turn again to the Lord. Verse 41. Let us lift up our heart.
Let us lift up our heart
with our hands
unto
God
in the heaven.
We have transgressed.
We have transgressed.
We have rebelled.
And have rebelled.
Thou hast not pardoned.
Thou hast not pardoned.
Thou hast covered.
Thou hast covered with anger.
And persecuted
us.
Thou hast slain.
Thou hast slain.
Thou hast not pitied.
Thou hast not pitied.
Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud.
Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud.
That our prayers should not pass through.
So we really think that every prayer that we send up to God, God accepted? No. Yeah, we do believe it. We really believe that every prayer that we send up to God, God accepts it. You must be a new kind of fool. Because in order for God to accept your prayer, you got to be accepted. Why do you think Cain's offering wasn't accepted? Because Cain wasn't accepted. Abel's offering was accepted because Abel was accepted. So we have to live our life according to the standards of God so that when we send up our prayers, that he will hearken to our prayers and not block it.
That's right.
Tom Sheep.
Thou hast made us as the
offspring
and refuge in the midst of the people. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. Fear and a snare is come upon us. Desolation and destruction.
And with that, I hope everybody has gotten what was bought. And I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And we will be starting back tomorrow at 10:30.
Baruch Shemo.
Baruch Shemo.
Ain't no child friendly.